I better warn you, I got a black belt in karate. And I got my black belt in bar stools.
50 years after her performance in the classic action film Foxy Brown, Pam Grier isn't kicking quite as much butt these days, but she's still thrilling audiences. Tracy Smith has our Sunday profile.
Have no fear, Pam Grier is here.
To the movie-going public, Pam Grier really was a one-woman hit squad. She was a gun-toting goddess who made her name in films like Coffee and the immortal Foxy Brown, where she fought against low-life drug dealers and the idea that a woman couldn't outfight a man.
I swear, baby, I don't know what you're talking about. Ah!
So you didn't realize at the time you were the first female action hero?
Yeah, I was too tall and feet too big. What can I tell you? I didn't fit the plan or anything, but...
So you changed the plan?
I changed it, but it was welcomed.
It was welcomed, all right. In the 1970s, the height of the blaxploitation film era, Pam Grier was the undisputed queen of the genre and one of the few female lead action stars ever.
What are you doing here?
I'm delivering the milk.
And not a lot of other women saw it to emulate me because it's hard. Firing a gun, arms frighten people. Standing up to authority, standing up to injustice is daunting. And I didn't know any better, I guess.
Pam, in front of you!
This way, please, up top!
But she always seemed to win. And, in a long career, graduated to roles that didn't involve breaking heads.
You're a great teacher.
Like this one, opposite Julia Roberts and Tom Hanks.
I got a whiff of the chef. He smelled like grilled onions. What's going on with you? Why do you have these?
And now she's the mother of an LA homicide cop in the second season of the hit horror series Them, now streaming on Amazon Prime.
You're lying.
Grandma? Grandma, you okay?
You must get offered a lot of projects. What made you decide to say yes to this one, to Them, the Scare?
Insanity. Because I'm not good with bumping the night. You know, I'm not good. I lock the doors, turn on the lights. Don't sneak up behind me.
You don't like to be scared?
No.
But there have been times when her real life was scarier than anything in a movie house. Pamela Suzette Grier was born 75 years ago today, May 26th, an Air Force brat who was raised near bases from North Carolina to the UK. Her family eventually settled in Colorado, where young Pam learned some of the things that would help her later on.
I had this rawness, you know, from the hood that I didn't have to learn how to ride a horse. I didn't have to learn how to spank a behind. I didn't have to learn how to throw a skillet. You know, these things came with my craft.
No one escapes from my prison. No one!
And to perfect that craft, she went to LA in the 60s, where she was discovered and subsequently cast in a series of tough prison girl movies like Women in Cages and The Big Bird Cage. As her fame grew, her love life got attention too. She never married, but Grier was romantically linked to a number of high-profile men, among them comic legend Richard Pryor.
Do you think you could have married Richard Pryor?
For a day. I've left relationships not falling out of love, but not being loved. And there's a difference. Maybe my husband, partner, mate, was filmmaking.
By the mid-'80s, she was a fixture in Hollywood, on screens big and small. And then her life hit a pretty big bump.
So you're having this great career ride, and suddenly in 1988, you go to the doctor and they give you this cancer diagnosis and they told you you had 18 months to live?
Mm-hmm. Yes, my world literally came to a screeching halt that day in the office. It's very serious because it's a stage 4, and we found it in wider areas in your body. And that's how we evolved. They couldn't say cancer, they said the C word.
The C word, they didn't
Remember
even
the
say
C
cancer.
word? And I was like, you can say cancer, and I'm gonna give it my all.
Excuse me, folks, but we gotta make an unscheduled stop!
And her all was enough. She recovered and started to put her career back on track. Turns out Pam Grier had fans in high places, something she found out by accident while watching a Quentin Tarantino film.
In the 1990s, you go to the theater with your friends to see this little movie, Reservoir Dogs.
Yes.
And you got quite a shock.
Yes, I did. In the car, they bring up this woman who is a crime fighter named Foxy Brown.
Pam Grier did the film. Christy Love was like a Pam Grier TV show without Pam Grier.
And I'm sitting there and everyone goes, and they turn around and point to me.
Not long after that, she met Tarantino in person, who told her he was writing a screenplay with her in mind.
And I didn't believe it.
You didn't believe it?
No, because he's the #1 premier filmmaker, pop filmmaker in the world. I mean, the world. And he said, no, seriously, I'm going to send it to you.
I was the third brother of 5.
And it was bigger than she ever imagined. Pam Grier was the title character in Quentin Tarantino's Jackie Brown, opposite Samuel Jackson, Robert De Niro, and Michael Keaton.
What in the bag she gave you?
She didn't give me a bag. Melanie was not a part of the plan.
Not surprisingly, the experience turned her into a big Tarantino fan.
Man, I hope he doesn't retire. I don't know what I'll babysit his children so he can go to work. I don't want him to retire. There's so much more to him. And he may not want to give it, but I've been just fortunate to experience his lessons, his joy he's shared with me. Look at that. Oh my God.
And it seems the joy continues. In a storefront attached to his Vista Theater in Los Angeles, Quentin Tarantino built a coffee shop.
This is the end of your rotten life, you dope pusher!
Named for one of Pam Grier's most famous characters.
So have you seen this before?
No, I wanted to save it for you.
Inside, the place is basically a shrine, with her face on everything from posters to coffee cups.
Is it a little overwhelming?
Yes, a lot overwhelming.
Pam Grier seems comfortable with being an icon, as long as it means she can keep doing what she loves.
How long do you think you're going to keep filmmaking?
Till I'm about 100. You take small steps, you still move forward. And my steps might get really small when I get older. I don't know. But I never want to lose my curiosity and respect for what we have.